Our international affairs commentator, Doug Herbert, joins me now for more on this story. Joe Biden is going to be meeting with the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson before the G7 summit, and there are a lot of concerns about the situation with Northern Ireland.
Yeah, and the biggest concerns are Joe Biden's concerns that basically what's happening after Brexit, the reality of Brexit, is potentially laying waste to the Good Friday Agreement and perhaps raises the prospect of further upheaval and troubles in Northern Ireland. It's not a far-fetched, geopolitical exaggeration. We are seeing right now a scenario in which, under the so-called Brexit withdrawal agreement between the UK and the EU, both countries, both blocs, the EU and the UK, signed what was called a Northern Ireland Protocol. And what was the purpose of that protocol? It was basically to prevent the emergence after Brexit of a hard border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland, which is part of the EU, from forming again, and in the name of trying to preserve the peace. And what we now see from the UK side, and this is the fear among not just people in the EU, but among Joe Biden, is that the UK is threatening in many ways to sort of, or as they see it, to undermine the Northern Ireland Protocol, to unilaterally sort of renege on some of the agreements that it itself signed up to under this protocol. Why are they doing this? There's a lot of pressure right now in Northern Ireland by the unionists, the so-called loyalists to the United Kingdom, who basically fiercely oppose this protocol. And we saw a lot of the troubles starting to reemerge last Easter, some violence in Northern Ireland. And this is exactly what Joe Biden, the nightmare scenario that he has in mind. Joe Biden is of Irish descent. He is a fierce backer of the Good Friday Agreement, and he is a fierce backer of the idea of the Irish peace process. Anything that he sees as threatening to undermine that, and that is what he now does see the prospect of, he's going to be worried about. He is definitely going to talk to Boris Johnson about this issue, and he's probably going to be pretty blunt about it, even as publicly he reiterates what he calls the special relationship between the UK and the US, a term that Boris Johnson himself is said to not really favor. But publicly, we will hear nothing but goodwill and reaffirming that special relationship. But behind the scenes, I suspect that Joe Biden will, in no uncertain terms, tell him that he is fretful that Boris Johnson's policies right now and the policies of his government are threatening to uproot one of the signature foreign policy achievements, as Biden sees it, of the past several decades, the Good Friday Agreement.
Right. And this is also the first face-to-face meeting with Joe Biden and Boris Johnson. And the U.S. president does not seem to particularly favor Bojo, as he's known over there so much.
No, exactly. Look, just to reiterate, officially, it will be smiles. It will be nice, cordial handshaking. And it will be Joe Biden up there reaffirming what he calls a special relationship, no matter how much Boris Johnson says he perhaps doesn't like that term, reportedly. But look, Joe Biden, it's not just unfavorable. Joe Biden sees Boris Johnson as a mini Trump. He sees him as a right-wing populist, the man behind Brexit, hard Brexit, and a man who is cut essentially from the very same populist right-wing cloth as Donald Trump, a man who is very much friendly and chummy with Donald Trump, and a man, Boris Johnson, who took pot shots at one of the people that Joe Biden most admires in the U.S., and that's his former boss, Barack Obama. So in all respects, as people, they have a lot of personal clashes and divergences. They are not two men of the same mind by any means. But look, Joe Biden is also a pragmatist, and as president, he realizes that he doesn't want to squander the so-called special relationship. And he does realize the need in a pragmatic way to try to foster as good a relationship he can have with a man like Boris Johnson, who on so many issues and on so many ways, personally and professionally, they just simply don't see eye to eye. But this is a world in which there are a lot of leaders Joe Biden is going to have to meet with like that. Leaders who critics see as demagogues, as populists, as right-wingers, as people who stoke a lot of hatred and resentments. If Biden sees Johnson that way, he's not going to publicly express that on this trip. We will see smiles and we will see cordial handshakes.
Doug, thanks for that. France 24's Doug Herbert.